179 in the world and is up. Okay, he's moved up to 130, but he's not been knocking him dead.
Well, he's had some back problems and decided to play some challengers to get his confidence back earlier this year. There's Justin, 25.
Well, that's a good idea when you're not getting in the main tournaments. You'll be sitting on your, you know what, your derriere if you don't play those.
7th U.S. Open.
He also has problems with cramps, which he did in the first round. So thankfully for him, it is not warm right now. I think he's crazy to serve and stay back though against Agassi. Just take his chances. Blake up a break now. Davydenko looking to make a match out of that. I'm still, see, I was waiting last night. We never got the Blake match on last night. Now, have they kept the schedule the same tonight, Bill?
No.
Oh, God. Give me a break.
Looking good early. Justin, at one point in that match, in the first round, said he considered retiring because the cramps were so severe. He played for over an hour with those cramps. Actually started walking to the chair, thinking, okay, I'm going to retire. By the time he got there, he had decided, I'm just going to make it look like I want to change my racket. Said, I got to keep going. And he did, and survived. But off to a shaky start.
I'm sure those legs still feeling a little jelly-like. He's playing Hewitt and Agassi, the best in the business, best in the game, returning. Not the ideal matchup for him right now.
No.
I mean, look at that return.
And Agassi breaks it love. So the early message from Andre.
But it's the way. There's Coach Darren Cahill. Started the year with Andre. It's the way he returns. He didn't take a big backswing. He took the pace from Gimelstob. I mean, he's so smart returning. He sees the ball so early. It looked good, but as I said, Gimelstob's not going to win a lot of points this way.
And what's he thinking? Why is he staying back?
I think he wants to look good, and to be honest. I mean, he's not even thinking about winning because this is not a winning strategy. But he wants to show that he can hit the ball from the baseline, which he's showing he can.
$15 all.
And he probably figures, okay, this doesn't go well, which presumably it won't. Then he can start coming in on a serve, attacking, especially when he starts to perhaps feel it in the legs, start slowing down, which is going to happen.
Weather delay of 5 hours today in New York. Play resuming about 2.5 hours ago. Here at the USGA National Tennis Center, Arthur Ashe Stadium. Andre Agassi underway against Justin Gimelstob, unseeded from the United States. Andre, the number 6 seed. 40-15. And 2-love Agassi. It's been easy in the early going. 3-love Andre. Well, Justin Gimelstob has won only 3 points so far in the first 3 games.
I see that James Blake has dropped serve and is now down 5-4 to Davydenko on the comeback trail. We're going to need to sneak over there, Bill, before that set ends. Hewitt already up a break in the second at 2-love.
After winning the first set in a tiebreak.
Oh, poor Justin. Just when he thought he had that serve. Gets the let. Andre's just not being nice right now, Bill. He's just demolishing Gimelstob. He wants to get this over with before the rains come again.
And Andre out quickly. Love 30.
He is hitting the ball as clean as a whistle.
He's got a lot of personality. Interesting to see whether he has the problems with his hand cramping.
Well,
he had the other
look
night.
how much he's sweating. I mean, it's not
already.
very, yeah, there hasn't been a lot of play yet.
Said he lost 8 pounds in fluids the other night. Typically, they weigh the players prior to the match and then afterward to see how much
We
they're
never did that.
dehydrated.
We never got weighed before the match.
Double break point. And already shaking that hand a little bit.
Well, if you lose this fast, so the good news is you won't cramp. The bad news is you'll be off the court in about 1 hour and 10 minutes. What do you say we go to that Davydenko Blake match?
James Blake winning the first set 6-3. Back on serve in the second. Checking in over there.
Something tells me Agassi's going to win this first set.
I think he
Okay, I'm
might.
willing to go out on a limb. I'll stand on my head, Bill, for the
Not
rest
again.
of the match if he loses this set.
I think it's a good bet, though. Oh, wow. I'm telling you, Andre has come out hot. So let's swing over to the grandstand and look in on James Blake as he's facing a set point. Ted and Jim, go ahead, guys.
All right, here it is with James Blake. And there, James Blake broken and loses the second set to Davydenko. So just when you thought James Blake was going to be able to perhaps have an easier afternoon, it will not happen. 36 unforced errors in the first 2 sets, Jim, for James Blake.
Yeah, just a little bit cold coming out.
All right, Bill and John.
Well, Andre's not making it any easier.
Just hit a top spin lot winner over his head.
30-15 for love. 40-15. They've been playing for 12 minutes and it's about to be 5-love. Agassi's not messing around. Not a lot has gone right for Justin Gimelstob. Only 5 points through the first 5 games. And
How was his commentary work on his own match? Did he
I
do
thought
all
it was
right?
pretty good. We got it's interesting. I mean, he did have the ability to take us through step by step of what he's thinking and
Let's hope.
at every moment. And it was pretty intense. Ended after midnight. over on the grandstand. Just trying to get anything going at the moment.
This is a moment where you hope for rain. If you're Justin, to regroup, maybe feel better physically tomorrow, or perhaps he'll start to loosen up a little bit, get a little bit more comfortable out there. Not not at this rate.
50.
Justin has won just 2 points on his serve. 15 all. You look up into your box. See, how do you think I'm doing? Dad?
Yeah. Don't look at his dad. Let Barry go check on the Blake match.
15-30. These are two very expressive guys. You can certainly tell what they're thinking. Gosh. DeAndre's just firing out there. The ageless one, the oldest man left in the draw at 32. Got a couple of set points.
Now the night schedule is still Venus Williams and Alicia Molik and Carlos Moy and Jan Michael Gamble. Is that correct, Bill?
I believe so, yeah. They made some adjustments because of the rain. Revised the schedule a few times. "17 minutes. Agassi and Love in the first set. And let's quickly swing you over to the grandstand, guys.
All right, Bill, and here James Blake and Andre Davydenko have just started the third set, with Davydenko holding his serve. And James Blake now at 30 love. Neither player has played a particularly clean match, but Blake really bothered with 38 unforced errors.
Oh,
what is that?
don't permit that to happen out there, guys. Tell Blake to start to get with it.
He's wearing your shirt, Mac. You tell him.
You guys are closer than I am.
Okay, we're on it. We got it. We got you covered.
I mean, it's almost mind-boggling, isn't it, to see a guy out there in today's game in Davydenko's size.
Well, he's only, what is he, 5'10"?
He's about 5'11", Ted. Come on.
145 pounds.
Well, yeah, the 145 is definitely slight.
Just out of curiosity, what do you think Lleyton Hewitt weighs right now?
I'm going to say Hewitt's at least, he's at least 146.
Exactly. See, thank you.
This guy right here, Davydenko, what he makes up for, what he misses in size, he's making up for with that grunt, though. Jeez. I haven't heard a guy grunt like this in a long time. And he's got some
strong legs, right?
He's got variable grunts, too. He's got a couple different ones. Oh, now he's going to go quiet.
Yo, what are you talking about?
See what I'm talking about? Different grunts. The guy's been barking the whole match. Now he's going to go quiet.
So it's 1-all third set.
Now, we should tell the fans, Ted, here in the stadium that they're letting the people in apparently now for the night session. See, they learned their lesson. Arlen Kantarian's learning. See, they're not going to force them to wait now. So there'll be a better crowd for this match. Agassi and perhaps James Blake.
Kantarian is USTA's CEO and listening very closely to Johnny Mike.
I don't know about that.
It's about time.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I've been saying.
well, right now everybody's got to be smiling because I think the feeling was most of the day there'd be no tennis, and this has been a nice little opening here. There's allowed some matches to get finished. Andre won the second set yet, John?
No, just about.
There's a good grunt coming here. I can feel it. Come through for me, Nikolai.
A Russian who's living in Germany wants to play for German Davis Cup. There it is.
Thank you.
Just reminds me that Patty, my wife, just got a dog, so I'm trying to get over that. And here he comes, Davydenko, sounding like one.
(30-15).
No calls from the ASPCA.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No.
What wonderful breed of dog did Patty get, John?
A toy poodle.
There you go.
You got to be kidding.
Yeah, I
me.
can put it in my pocket. That's the good news.
Fix your personality.
I'm not, you know, I'm hoping you're tired now, Jim, because that was cruel, an unusual statement.
Well, John, what do you think of this guy, James Blake?
I think he's a great kid. He's an excellent player, but I think he's got the cramp issue. It worries me. He's come a long way. You know, to break into the top 10, I think he needs to figure out a way to overcome that. And I think it was you, Jim, that talked about what he suffered with as a kid. If that's had an effect on it, or has hampered that, or made that an issue.
Well, talking about his scoliosis.
Scoliosis,
Right.
which forced him to wear a brace during much of his high school years.
Well, I don't really think that's a cramp issue in and of itself, but the result of it is I don't know that James Blake's body can absorb the pounding that it might have to take to get in tippy top.
Well, that's what I
physical
mean.
shape.
He can't work as hard as
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good play right at him.
And he's got a little stare down in him too. I like that. Perhaps Blake tiring of the grunting as well.
I'll tell you, Blake, what really impresses me about him is how fast he is, how much court coverage he's got. And he's really, really improved that forehand.
Yeah, it's huge now.
And some of that management may come from his mom. His mother was from England, was a sprinter in her athletic days. James' father was an American. They met here in New York.
So that's a good mix. He can be polite,
right.
yet he can still want to be number one. You know,
That is a good mix.
Now, John, have you been? I believe you have been, haven't you, to the place where James learned his tennis in Harlem?
We were up there. We actually
Right.
did a clinic there last year, a little charity thing with James and his brother. That's good hustle.
So Blake gets it back to deuce.
And the good news is it's an armory, but it's still being used as because they're trying to switch over and make it into some basketball courts or facilities that more people can use. But there's not enough tennis courts around the city these days.
That's why I was asking you, because you've talked about this for a long time, to be able to see a tennis player be developed from an urban setting.
It's been a long time. Even he left at a fairly young age.
Shot. Well, John, we did something to promote tennis for the U.S. Open with some of those players from the Harlem program a couple of weeks ago down in Times Square. Actually, no, it was Grand Central Station. They put a court on the road. About 12 of their kids down there. And there were some good players. A couple guys about 14, 15 years old who were pretty confident of their abilities, but it's a solid program. The guy who's running it, and I can't think of his name right off the top of my head right now, but seriously into it and doing a good thing for those kids.
If these youngsters are given an opportunity to play this great game, we're going to see a lot more American champions. There's that forehand. Massive.
Well, that's what Blake needed now. He gets the break and the edge in the third set. One set apiece.
Well, Andre Agassi continuing his relentless attack.
Wait a minute, he broke?
6-love and 2-love. Now, this is a man on a mission. 30-love.
Someone must have told him they weren't letting the night people in. So he's determined to get done before 7. This is tough. I mean, this is hard for a professional. I mean, Justin's been out there 5-6 years on the tour. I mean, this isn't fun right now.
And Agassi comes out playing at an extremely high level.
Very much so.
He holds with love, and it's 3-love already in the second set. Andre Agassi hasn't lost 2 points in a row in the entire match. Very one-sided. It's Justin Gimelstob. 29 minutes in the match so far. Justin has yet to win a game. 6-love and 3-love.
There it is. 2 in a row. Looks good here to hold. Speaking of holding, Blake is held for 3-1 in the third set.
Against Nikolai Davydenko. Even at a set apiece.
It's just working. It hurts to watch. He's working him. He's doing just the right thing. He's not. He's playing it safe. I mean, most guys would like to play it safe. The way Agassi's doing, just wait for the short ball, and then he'll come in. But in the meantime, just moving him side to side.
30-15.
You got to hand it to Andre, though. I mean, he hustles up there so he can take it a little bit earlier than most players would. Right here. Gimelstob trying to hit that ball a little bit shorter. That ball sat up for Agassi, but he got to it in a hurry. Gave him more options, forced Gimelstob to guess there. That's not good. 1 out of 10. That's when you look up at the scoreboard and you see 6-0, 3-0. Boy, he had 30-love. He had won 2 points in a row. Yeah.
Break point. Welcome back.
It's a hint when a guy does commentary in his own first-round match before he plays, a couple hours before. That means he doesn't believe he has a chance in hell of winning.
I think a lot of the players didn't think they were going to play today.
But you just can't count on that.
The sky's cleared.
He's still hoping it rains.
Yeah, to win a game, Agassi takes the first 10. Yeah, it's a head scratcher. 15 love. Man,
Where's Barry now?
that was some serve. Lleyton Hewitt up a break in that second set after winning the first set in a tiebreak.
You see Blake has broken again. That would be good for him to get through that in 4 if he can. 4-1 in command in the third. Needs his legs for Hewitt in the third round. Okun making should be proud of himself for that effort so far. What? What is wrong with Andre?
40-15.
Man.
Another easy game for Andre. 5 love now in the second. Once again, let's go over to Ted and Jim.
All right, Bill, in Armstrong Stadium, where it hasn't been quite that easy for Lleyton Hewitt, but he has the edge, winning the first set in a tiebreak over Israeli qualifier Noam Okun. Okun did have 2 set points, though, in that tiebreak. Hewitt prevailed 9-7. Now Hewitt's up a break, serving 4-3 in the second.
About like you'd expect for Okun to have a letdown after those 2 set points, and he got a lot tight, not a little, in that tiebreak. And you see the stats, and Hewitt's got to get that first serve percentage up at least over 50%, and not great numbers. This has not been Lleyton Hewitt's best tennis, but under the circumstances, probably no warm-up with the conditions here, because these courts were the first courts dried. Practice courts a little damp.
On a day like this, Jim and John, where do the players warm up? Do they warm up indoors? Get any chance to hit before a match?
Well, the first players out on the court don't get to warm up really until they get to the court. Saw some players in the gym next to the locker rooms, getting on the bikes, getting on the treadmills. Actually, even one player throwing medicine ball against the wall, trying to simulate his strokes.
Which player was that?
That was Sweet Japan. You'd have been proud, John.
That's a good effort.
Yeah. But the players first on the court are the ones that get the short end of this stick. But on the flip side, if they get their matches in and it rains, that's a good thing for them. They get a little extra rest.
Okun hits a fine ball, and he's excellent off both sides, but he's just what Hewitt's doing is slowly but surely wearing him down, and that quickness again and again when he plays his opponents, it's just unparalleled how fast he is.
The only guy, John, really I think it can almost match Lleyton is playing right next door, James Blake.
Will that be some track meet when they play on Saturday then? But Blake is going to have to be prepared for the long haul.
You're right about that.
Guess what, guys? It's 40 love. Gimmel stop serve.
We can hear
6-0-5-0.
We can hear the reaction.
He's about to hold. Should we
Don't jinx it.
Should we pop over?
Don't jinx it. Speaking of about to hold, Hewitt 40-15.
If he gets his racket on the ball, he hits the ball as well as anyone out there.
Well, Kuhn's ranked 114 in the world, but it's not because of his strokes. The rap on him in the locker room is that his head just goes away at the wrong times.
And nothing would ever be suggested like that about Hewitt.
At all contrary.
And what would be so intriguing about a Hewitt-Blake matchup is that Hewitt's early career run has been marked by the tougher the crowds are against him, the better he plays. He loves it.
Loves it.
But this is a guy that, as there's a double fault from Hewitt, this is a guy that goes to Brazil in Gustavo Kuhn's hometown and beats him in a Davis Cup match on clay.
He loves it. Adversity is Lleyton Hewitt's best friend, I think. He's grown up against it his whole career. A smaller guy going up against bigger guys, playing up in Australia, playing at 14, playing in the 18 and unders against bigger, stronger guys. He thrives on it. My question, and Mac, maybe you can help me here, is it tougher for Hewitt to play in Australia being the crowd favorite?
I think it is. He hasn't done well so far. He's a little irritated right now that he hasn't put this game away.
And Hewitt gets irritated in a 2-2-2 match. That's just his thing.
That's what you got to love about him.
Yeah. Jason Stoltenberg, his new coach. This year, Hewitt had the case of the chicken pox, knocked him out of the Australian Open, where he's never gotten past the round of 16.
And somewhere Thomas Johansson is smiling right now.
Yes and no, because he won the tournament, but he's out now with shoulder problems. Didn't even play here. Newsflash, Gimelstop has won a game.
Woohoo!
John, you want another news flash?
Yes.
Marcelo Rios won the first set.
So the Chileans on a roll.
So they got the outer courts going as well here on this day, and Rios is playing out on court 11. We could have a gizmo cam on court 11.
Let's
You
get
never
this
know.
gizmo thing ready.
John, I got another question for you on Hewitt. You know, this has got a guy who he's not a guy who dominates guys with his game. He's beating them with his legs and his brain. How long do you think he can hold the #1 ranking, having to grind every match like this?
I think it's going to be very tough. I mean, I think we saw with Chang. There was that great group of players, you being one of them, Andre, Pete, and Chang, and Chang was the first one that broke through, won that French Open. And then all of a sudden, he's never won another one. And I think a lot of it's because he played the type of game that Lleyton does. He's not able to win a lot of matches without having to grind. That wears on you. But I mean, he's going to stay. He's going to be up there. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to be up there for the next 5 to 7 years at the top of the game. Chang was in the top 10 for what, 8, 9 years,
right?
He brings more to the table than Chang does. He's taller and he's got a bigger serve. He can be more offensive, but you see he's not in a rush to get to the net, so he doesn't take the ball nearly as early as Andre Agassi does. As long as he's feeling good physically, he's the guy to beat right now.
Can you identify, Jim?
Oh, absolutely.
What you just described about Hewitt sounds to me like your career, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, this he's going to have to fight and claw for every match, and the advantage of having the big cannon like Sampras is Sampras can go out there, and he did for so many years on his best days, and play kind of average with everything but his big serve and get free points. And second set for Agassi there. It's just so much tougher for a grinder like Hewitt over the course of his career. You just don't get those easy days.
It's tougher for a serve volleyer later on because you see, I think what you're seeing with Pete is that he's slowed down physically, and so that quick movement at net that's necessary he doesn't have that edge anymore, and so people are getting more balls back too.
Right.
These guys return better than they used to.
Right. I think the perfect guy right in the middle of this whole discussion is Andre Agassi, who obviously is still playing great tennis, and he's sort of a grinder. But because Andre stays in the middle of the court and runs his opponent more, he always punishes his opponent more than he has to work. Lleyton Hewitt is doing more running than almost every opponent that he plays, but that's what he likes to do. That's kind of his strength. He creates his angles. Well, he's not going to get that one, but if he did, he'd create an angle cross court with it, and that's how he would win the point.
That's exactly why it's a great point, because it's exactly why you see Agassi at his age looking so good, and why you saw Connors last so long. You dismantled him finally in 91 in the semifinals, but that was a pretty good effort for a guy at 39.
Yeah, I only had 17 or 18 years on him.
Kuhn just saving one set point, serving a deuce.
You know, I don't see Sampras, and I don't see a Lleyton Hewitt at the age of 36, 37. Getting, you know, Jimmy was 38, 39 that year. But if anyone could do it, and I don't think he'll be around, Andre Agassi's game is maybe the only game, because it's like Connors, because it's a simple game played from the middle, economy of motion.
So Kuhn having to struggle here to hold his serve and stay in the set.
You know what this means now, on September 2nd, that Jimmy Connors, the greatest player of the U.S. Open, 50 years old.
Happy birthday, Jimbo.
He's going to appreciate you bringing that up.
That.
Jim.
Yeah.
Way
love
to
me even more.
What'd you get him?
I got him in an invitation here. They desperately want him to come back here and be a part of this. They need someone to sing. You remember when he sang? Well, I don't know if Jim was around back then, but he sang. He used to be a singer. Yeah, but the Howard Cosell show. The old Saturday Night Live.
Well, Kuhn saves another set point.
See, when the Kuhn has time and he's there, boy, he's very good from the baseline.
He's strong. He's 6'1", but he's about 180, 185 pounds. He's pretty thick.
He uses those big, strong legs right there to get some pace and step into that Hewitt ball and just really go from defense to offense in a hurry.
Kind of looks like Shlomo Glickstein, doesn't he? A little bit in the face there.
The legs, he's got a little work to do with the legs, because Shlomo has some of the biggest legs ever.
Yeah, former top 100 player from Israel as well.
Maybe more like top 30 at one point.
Wow, that was a long game. And Kuhn saved a couple of set points, and he holds. So Hewitt will serve for the second set shortly. Moments ago on the grandstand, James Blake trying to wrap up the third set. Nikolai Davydenko serving.
And somehow when we say moments ago, I always get the idea he might do it.
Right over the top.
Get a direct comparison on the speed here from Lleyton Hewitt and James Blake. Nice touch.
It's not your sets, folks. You're having just a slight bit of audio problem on the points being played there. And now Blake at set point. They go up 2-1.
That's what happens when you try that moments ago stuff. Come on, Greg.
He's blown his cover, John. This is at the time when you wish everyone at home were cheering. There you go.
Well, now they are.
Right. So Blake has won the third set.
Stand and cheer for your James Blake.
There you go. And in fact, they're on serve. They're at 1-all in the fourth set. As now we come back here with Hewitt serving to go up 2 sets. I'm just looking at to highlight the difference that Jim, you and John both have been talking about between Hewitt and Agassi. Agassi's in the third set.
He's up a break already.
Up a break, and he's played 48 minutes. Hewitt is trying to wrap up the second set, and he's been on court over an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I still think Hewitt's the favorite for this tournament in spite of that fact, but over the course, a long course of a career, that takes its toll.
There you go again. If you're saying, John, when he gets there.
We've seen this the entire match. Okun has had a wicked forehand when he gets to that ball. This is in a running variety. This is a tough shot to pull off. That's going to discourage Hewitt from coming in net.
So Andre Agassi trying to see if he can get that done in under an hour.
At least he let Justin get on the board there. And we had a great time with Justin this afternoon. I feel badly now that he's getting thumped out there. Hopefully he didn't distract him at all.
Not at all. Good way to prepare.
Yeah. He may have been the one player praying for rain today, right?
Yeah. Well, let's face it, he was at the courts till about 2 o'clock a couple nights ago. Just had the one day off yesterday. Body's hurting today. Definitely was praying for rain.
So 2 set points now for Hewitt. So Hewitt now up 2 sets and closing in on a potential third round match with James Blake, who's up 2 sets to 1 himself. And let's see how fast Andre can finish this. We go back to Bill and John.
Well, not a lot has changed, Ted. Justin Gimmel stopped serving. It's 30-all, but love 2 here in the third. Agassi winning the first 2 sets 6-love and 6-1.
Technically, he's so sound on that two-handed backhand. It really is a thing of beauty. Oh, there's Lleyton Gill. Steffi watching on. This is not a tough one to watch.
Oh, look at that face. So Gimmel stop, able to hold. "53 minutes so far here at Arthur Ashe Stadium, and it's been all Andre Agassi. First game, first serve rather. First point of the fourth game of the third set, and 15-love. Second double for Andre. He just came out, John, all business. Wanting to get it in. The skies are still threatening. Some rain potentially.
This is Andre Agassi's 16th U.S. Open. He knows a thing or two about competing. He also knows a thing or two about how and what it takes to get through 7 matches and win a Grand Slam. And this is a great opportunity for him to get through this in a hurry, save his energy. All you have to do is look up and know that who knows what could happen later on. He wants to finish this off, get to the 3rd round, relax, get a day off.
30-15, 2-1, 3rd set.
If you look to his next opponents, Harold Levy's played a long 5-setter. His first match, 6-4 in the 5th. Ramon Delgado won 7-5 in the 5th. They have to fight it out, so you got to like his chances there. Then things will get much more interesting for Andre.
What do you think about a potential matchup with Carlos Moya?
Well, Moya's playing as a big, strong guy. It's great to see him healthy again, playing some fantastic tennis. Beat Hewitt at Cincinnati in the finals for starters. But it'll be interesting tonight, though. Gamble Moya tonight to see if Gamble's got the game to do something there. He's been struggling for a while. Now dropped all the way to 57 in the world, Jan-Michael Gamble. Gaston Gaudio is in that section as well, and he's going to be tough.
Love 15. And 1-3 here in the 3rd set.
This is picture perfect. If you have a 2-handed backhand, just buy a video of Agassi. Watch his backhand. It's scary how solid it is. Off the return, the pass, when the ball's short, his footwork.
How hard is it to groove a motion like that?
If it was easy, more people would do it because you'd try to copy the stroke. It is not easy. It's also difficult when you grow up as a kid with a grip that may be different in her style. Jim Courier is an example. Andy Roddick. Guys that they hit the ball a different way, but it's if they want to smooth things out. I mean, this guy's the all-timer. Connors was before, but you look at Agassi now. It's so smooth, so technically sound. Very, very tough to change something you've been doing since you were a kid.
Love 30. Fifteen 30.
Oh, he's got a shot here.
Lost only 2 games so far. This is his 219th Grand Slam match. That's a pretty good number.
That's probably the best point Gimelstoud's played, and he still lost the point. I mean, just way too good.
And Justin kind of looked over, you know what? I can't do anything about that.
It. I can't do any better than that. I mean, he hit it, probably the biggest forehand he hit in the match. That Agassi ran down, forced him to hit another ball, and here he comes. Now he knows he's in big trouble again, Gimelstoud.
A double break point.
Hewitt, by the way, is broken already in the 3rd. 2-love in the 3rd. Blake is only at 2-1. but he has a couple break points because Davydenko needed a trainer, another player. Join the list. Yes.
That wasn't I'm number one. That's one.
Yeah, that's one. The good news is that he hit a fabulous volley here. The bad news, Bill, is he's down break point still.
Break point at 1-3. Gets back to deuce.
He made it. All right.
Exactly 1 hour.
Oh, man. That's just, that'll buckle the knees.
Staggers Gimelstob.
I mean, this is a good serve. I mean, Agassi full stretch. It's just right inside both lines. Gumpy's out again. Back.
There's the break. So 4-1. And Andre Agassi has put on a powerful display against fellow American Justin Gimelstob. 6-love, 6-1, and now 4-1 in just over an hour. Break and a short game for Andre Agassi. Justin Gimelstob serving to stay in the match. Somebody saying, come on, Justin. Justin's probably thinking, I'm trying my best. It's not like I'm playing badly. This guy's just killing me. Andre has lost only 2 points on his serve in this set.
Oh, no, that's,
Of course.
that is not right.
You know, you don't see Andre smile like that much during a match.
He's laughing inside right now. He's actually doing Justin a favor here, keeping that straight face.
Love 15. Blake at 4-1. Love 30. Nice serve out wide. 15-30.
Blake's got things under control there. Now up 2-1. Davydenko's woes. Trainer out. Looked like he had some type of foot problem. Blisters. Down 4-1 in the fourth. Blake looking to cruise through there. Hewitt as well. Now up 2-4, so that third round matchup looks to be just about set, and Andre Agassi in an hour and 6 minutes, Bill, is at match point. Oh, man. Why aren't I surprised?
Wow. When was the last time you saw something like that?
It's a combination of this guy right here just hitting the ball so insanely clean. I mean, absurd how clean it was.
Ageless.
Well, he can kick back now and wait for his next opponent, Lleyton Delgado, fight it out. Tonight, don't forget Moya Gamble, Gaudio lurking, who's a very, very tough competitor. Let's see if Feliciano Lopez can give him a match.
Now let's go look in on James Blake as he tries to close things out. And Nikolai Davydenko. Davydenko fighting just to hold serve here. Blake has had a couple of break chances.
And Davydenko.
And able to hold for 4-2 here in the fourth set.
Yeah, Bill, Blake had 15-40 on his serve. Missed a couple of easy ones, but still comfortably up 4-2. Just got to take care of 2 more service games. And that matchup you're talking about, Mac, with Lleyton Hewitt will be set in stone.
A lot of people, myself included, very much looking forward to that match taking place.
Count me in. I'm with you. You know, I think if Blake and Hewitt both get there, which it appears they will, you know, how does Hewitt react to last year's situation? Does he bring that same intensity, that same animosity that he brings to a match based on what happened last year?
I don't think he can play any other way.
Oh, he certainly learned a lot about Blake last year. I don't think he necessarily knew what he was in for, and Blake played so well in those first 2 sets. Wonderful touch there.
Guy's got blisters, make him run.
5-2 Blake.
Blake leads 5 games to 2.
And James Blake over on the grandstand against Nikolai Davydenko. Davydenko serving at 15 love, 30 love now. 2-5, fourth set. Jim, give me your thoughts on the Blake Hewitt matchup.
Well, I honestly think that because Blake, and he could have hung Lleyton Hewitt out to dry last year, but because he didn't, I think that makes Lleyton Hewitt uncomfortable around James Blake. I mean, Hewitt clearly was the man in the wrong last year, but there's no 2 ways about it. What he said was ridiculous, to say the least. And Blake handled it with what that guy said in that little roll-in, those 2 words, class act. Well, James Blake handled it in a very classy way, and I think that Lleyton Hewitt doesn't really know how to come up against someone like James Blake, who's now serving for the match, and maybe have that same anger that he brings to the court, that he fuels himself with that anger. I'm curious to see how that plays out. Mac, what do you think about that?
Well,
you like my theory?
Well, I think it's an excellent theory, but to me, he can't. That's the one he plays that one way, and he's not going to change that.
Well, I mean, he's got to get there somehow. I think he's going to struggle finding that.
But I think
place.
At the same time, if it wasn't for the fact that James Blake handled that in such a classy way, I think it would have been far more difficult for him to recuperate and go on and win the tournament. And that's sort of been forgotten about. There really hasn't been much discussion since. He's a Wimbledon champion now.
Right.
And I don't think it's going to be a big factor.
No, I think that because Blake helped him out there, I mean, if Hewitt gets crushed by the media in New York, which it was pretty rough as it was, if Blake hangs him out, it multiplies. I think you're right. I think Hewitt struggles to win the tournament with all the distractions, but he was able to put it behind him. And that's because of this man, James Blake.
So maybe he owes him one.
That is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
30-15. There's some pace.
Man. That made Jim Courier proud there.
James can jack the forehand.
14.
And I'm very proud.
2 match
This guy
points.
right here. I think everyone in America should be proud of James Blake.
And he's moving on at the open.
3 sets to 1. 6-3. 4-6. 6-1. 6-4.
Well, Hewitt, he's up 4-1, so he's a couple of games away from me testing out that theory, John.
Well, that's what's going to happen, and that's going to be very much, very highly anticipated. That's going to be a lot of fun when that comes up on Saturday.
And down at the bottom there, Rios, Novak. Rios, ever talented. Just never know what you're going to get with him.
Novak's had by far the best year of his life. He's been very solid up there, 14 in the world.
Speaking of years of their life, this young man, James Blake, on into the 3rd round for the 2nd year in a row.
He's only 22.
Excuse me. First time into the 3rd round.
This is the first time he's made it to the 3rd round in a major, so this is big for him.
So Blake is through, and now he'll wait for Lleyton Hewitt. 4 sets for Blake, and let's go back to Louis Armstrong Stadium, and there he is.
That was a break point for Okun. Unable to capitalize. It is 4-1 deuce.
2 hours and 19 minutes. A stark contrast to what you guys were calling over there.
Put it mildly.
The typewriters in the media room are firing up. Thinking about Hewitt and Blake.
CBS trying to figure out the best time for that
schedule
match to take place.
Best schedule.
Point for 5-1.
Game Hewitt.
Let me say this about my so-called theory about Lleyton Hewitt. I think he's gonna find a way, and he's gonna have to dig a little deeper than usual to come out with his normal intensity. I think he may start off a little on edge against a James Blake. And Mac, don't you think the crowd's going to be all over him in that match?
I think the crowd's going to be very much pro Blake, but I don't think they're going to be all over him. I would have thought they would have done much more of that last year. Maybe.
Well, after the match last year, when they found out what he was saying, I'm telling you.
Did nothing happen in the semis, finals, or even the quarters against Andy Roddick?
Yeah, they were on him. You're right about that. There's going to be some nice hype coming in for this match.
Love 15.
Good.
Yeah, we love it.
We like that.
15 all.
15 all.
Also, some more good news for that matchup as this is 1 year later. And both of these guys, Lleyton Hewitt and James Blake, are playing much better tennis.
Well, let's hope it doesn't rain tonight, because the night crowd's going to be half. There's a lot to choose from. People out there still playing. Monica Seles hasn't played. Venus Williams getting set to play in 10 minutes or so.
We got the first match point here for Lleyton Hewitt. That's all it took.
That's it.
Hammers the winner.
So much for that.
3 sets to none. 7-6, 6-4, 6-1.
Deja vu all over again.
So here it comes.
Well, now it's official. The draw is there.
Nice graphic move there. Set your clocks, John.
Hey, wait, didn't we just
pick
see
that
this?
schedule?
And James Blake is down with Michael Barkan. Michael?
Go, Mike.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. James, 4-set winner over Nikolai Davydenko. And so you face a little adversity today in dropping a set and still come through. That's got to be good for your confidence.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling. I felt like I played well to start out, which is tough in these conditions. You never know what to expect. You didn't have a normal warm-up, a normal preparation. So I'm happy with that. And then just the second set, I think I got a little ahead of myself, and that's something I'm learning. I'm still young out here, so a lot of the top guys won't let me get away with that. I know I can't let that happen against Hewitt next round, but I feel like I did really well to turn it back around.
In terms of your conditioning, you had some cramping issues. Last year, you had some cramping issues in your first round against Brian Vahaley. What's your conditioning level now?
I feel great. The one against Vahaley, that was just really a one-time thing. It was more of like a nervous and lunging cramp. It just happened one time, and then it just loosened up, and that was fine. So last year, I think it was I hadn't prepared properly, and this year, I think I've done everything I can to prepare properly, and so hopefully we'll have another great match like we did last year without any of the other problems that happened.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because the second round matchup with Lleyton Hewitt last year, you were up 2-0, and he ended up taking it in 5 sets. There was some controversy coming out of that match, and many people point to you taking the high road, which kind of let him off the hook. Do you regret that?
No, you know, I did what I was taught to do growing up, give people the benefit of the doubt, and what he said to me afterwards in the locker room and later on, we put it behind us, and that's where it stayed. I haven't really talked about it except when forced to otherwise, and I really don't have any hard feelings towards him, and I know he's a great player. I respect his game a lot, and we'll see how our games match up tomorrow.
In terms of how they do match up, last year, obviously, you're up 2-0. If you're up 2-0 this year, what do you do differently?
Win, hopefully. No, I don't know. I think last year I felt like I was playing great, and I didn't think it was going to be a problem. It was just a matter of my body. So that wasn't really the problem. It was just a matter of being in better condition. Maybe this year we'll even get a night match, so it'll make it easier on both of us, and there won't be the heat issue or anything like that. It could be under the lights. My first ever real night match here at the Open would be a thrill.
We talked last night, and you told me of the honor you felt about to play on Arthur Ashe Stadium court. That didn't happen. Was that a little discouraging coming to the grandstand?
No, I really like this court. It's a lot of fun. You know, just a few seats on this one side, and then that restaurant. Because I remember watching all these matches from here, and it's a lot of fun. I remember actually one of my early years here watching Pete Sampras play in the early rounds out here the year he won it, actually. So that kind of ran through my head this time when I was out here, that maybe there's some kid watching me, and maybe I can duplicate Pete's success.
All right, James, thanks a lot. Congratulations on moving on to the third round. James Blake moves ahead.
It's like the Tonight Show in here with all the big names coming in. Congratulations. Nice to see you again.
Thanks very much.
At age 32, is still the oldest player still active in this event, but you looked like you were 22 out there the way you were moving tonight.
Well, thanks. I felt really good. I think that if your body is healthy, I think you can still be at your best in your 30s, so it feels that way.
This your 17th Open, but very different in the way that you're a father coming here. In fact, we had a shot of Lleyton with Steffi watching tonight. He's what, 10 months old now?
Yeah, he's 10 months. That's right.
And he was like, here he is, and he looks. Is he walking yet, Andre?
He's trying hard. He does it with one hand. There's a little fella.
He's cute. I got the hair. I bet you're envious there. There he is. Hey, Lleyton.
Yeah.
So that's got to be cool to see that.
That's exciting.
You're getting a little emotional seeing that.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's my little boy. So.
How do you keep the focus, and when you have so many other things in your life that are of equal importance, or if not more important?
Yeah, that's right. I think it's so important to have a great support team, to be quite honest. And Stephanie's just a great lady who gives me that opportunity to come out here and to be focused on what I do. And to be honest, it's all to the good now. I feel like everything in my personal life makes me even enjoy what I do out here a little bit more. So it's all worked out pretty well.
Yeah. How about the fitness? And obviously that's something you've worked at, and you're always adjusting, tinkering, making the necessary changes. What are you doing currently?
Well, I try to peak physically for these tournaments, and you train hard. There's no off season, so you got to know where to take your rest, and where to take your time to train. And I feel like I've put in some good work to get me through this stretch. And leading up to this tournament, I've played a few tournaments, gotten enough matches, feel like I've come in a little fresh and ready to go. So I think I'll be ready for the long haul.
Controlling, so you're pacing yourself where you can. Obviously, physically, when you have to exhaust a certain amount of energy.
Yeah, that's right. Experience tells you that you can't work long and hard. You have to really pick your ways of training and put your eggs in a basket, call your shot, and take it. And being here feels great right now.
The only player active to have won each of the Grand Slam events, and we all remember last year the show you put on with Pete Sampras, which was terrific. I know you weren't happy with the end result, but we just showed your son, and we talked to Pete, and he has a child on the way. Can you relate a little bit to what he's going through in terms of focus on tennis, personal life, and wondering how your game fits into all of that?
Well, sure. It's not an easy balance, and one that you have to spend a lot of time thinking about and understanding where your priority is going to be. And again, you need to have the people around you to help make that possible. Starting with your wife. So it's an important time for him personally. But I got a hunch that Pete has his perspective on what he's doing when he's out there inside the lines, that he'll find a way to make it all work.
You'd like to see him again in this Open?
I don't even remember playing him last year, to be honest.
It's all a blur.
Selective memory. I just have completely forgotten.
Is it tough to be friends? And I think I've heard you talk about this, that not that someone's an enemy, but that you want every edge you have out there on the court, especially at that level.
Well, I value the word friend, so it's quite important to me to say if somebody's a friend, that means we know each other pretty well. And I think as far as that goes, it's probably more difficult if you're competing for one spot on that sort of level. But there's a great respect, and personally as well as professionally, and that can exist.
I've heard tennis fans with this argument about, you've won all the Grand Slam events, 7 career Grand Slam events, and of course Pete with 13. Which would you rather have if you could trade having won each of them versus his 13 with not having the French?
Well, listen, it's a phenomenal accomplishment what Pete has done, and has every right in the world to go to sleep at night feeling like he's conquered the world. I couldn't be happier with my career. I feel like the day I won Paris, I'd never have a regret the rest of my life, and that's a pretty special feeling that is important to me. And yeah, I can't really answer that specifically.
Yeah, that's up to...
I have no idea what it's like to win 13 Grand Slams.
But you know what it's like to win the French. Well, and forever linked, like Connors, McEnroe, you and Pete will be. And you're comfortable with that?
Oh, yeah. He's, again, I have a lot of respect for him, especially professionally. I mean, what he's done out there on the court is a phenomenal thing. And in many cases, he's brought out the best in my game. Yeah. And in some cases, he's been a thorn in my side. So it's been a great ride. You're not always guaranteed that sort of challenge and that sort of rivalry, even if you do have a great career, and even if you have a great career during the time that somebody else has a great career. And I think Pete and I have had many things that have made it pretty special. We're opposite in many ways, from who we are to how we play the game of tennis, and it's been a special ride, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, and I think tennis fans have benefited. And I wanted to mention, as busy as you are, the Andre Agassi College Preparatory Academy, which opened almost a year ago to the day in Las Vegas, and it's something was a goal of yours, and they're adding more to that. If you can tell the viewers about it.
Well, it's a charter school that brings a high standard of education to the inner city kids of Las Vegas that don't have that opportunity. And we have 3 grades there now, but every year we're adding another grade so that the kids will graduate through high school and have an education that would prepare them for full scholarship in many incredible colleges throughout the country. It's a commitment that was important to me a long time ago to somehow make happen, but beyond that, it's truly a pleasure to watch all those that daily make it a commitment in their lives to affect these children, and there's some pretty great things going on there.
Yeah, that's a very nice thing for you to do. Well, we appreciate it, and thanks for coming by, okay? Your hectic schedule. Thanks. Enjoy the family, and look forward to talking to you again, all right?
I look forward to it.
All right, 2-time U.S. Open winner Andre Agassi joining us here in our USA Network studio. We're going to go to Ted Robinson as we get ready for, and Tracy.